Delicious young player, he is a super.
7 consecutive goals to the Orange team.
Welcome guys to another episode of Nerds for Life SuperCoach. I'm your host Peter, and this is very early. I'm just going to put this out there. This is a very, very early SuperCoach 2026 preview. I've got 8 rookies to keep an eye out over summer. I've got 5 discounted primos. Well, I assume will be discounted primos, and a couple of breakout contenders, and we're going to do it in that order as well. I just need to stress that I don't know what prices are yet, because it's, what is this, 2nd of September. I don't know what trades are. I barely know delistings. I don't know what the fixture is. Okay, so we don't know opening round or buys or anything like that. This is super early, but there are 8 rookies that are definitely must-watches over summer that we know will be rookie-listed players, and not all of them are real rookies. A lot of them are just ex-primos that have had horrid seasons, and now they are, now they're actual rookies. Rookie price players. There's discounted primos as well as, which we know will be discounted due to their finish to the year, as well as some breakout contenders, because we did get to see some players do quite well in the back end of 2025. So, who are these players? So I'm not going to go too much into depth because we're going to be talking a lot about them over summer. But the first player I definitely, and this is the top player, this is the first player I think, and this is all going to be in order, this is the first player that I think you should be picking in your team picker in 2025, and that is Josh Smiley, don't really know, but he is 176k this year, Richmond midfielder. I think he was pick 7 in the draft, towered over Jack Revolt. The guy is a future star, hopefully, if his body allows for it anyway. He's a big-bodied midfielder that plays very similar to a Bontempelli and Patrick Cripps. Didn't get a go at all this year. He just could not stay on the park and just couldn't get a game. Unfortunately, missed the whole season. Was in a shit load of teams at the start of the year. Still in 3% of teams now at the end of the season, but was in almost, I think, 60 or 70% of teams come the summer. At 176k, he's going to be cheaper than that. After not playing at all this season, he's most likely going to be cheaper than that and should be a lock in your side. Richmond don't have a midfield. They just don't. That midfield with a Hopper, Taranto, and Presti, it's just not working. It is not working. And it's sad because that's where all the money is going, but it's just not working. McAuliffe has had an improved season. Hopefully Lawler can get another go. Dow's not the answer. Ross is not the answer. So Smilly will be used in that midfield if he's fit, and honestly, that's as good as you're going to get when it comes to a role. If he's getting regular midfield time, should do well. Number 2, and these two are just locks. Come team picker, these two are just locks, and that is Carlton's Jaeger Smith, 194k. Very similar story to Smilly. Was the Blues' first round selection and just did his knee in the summer. This guy can rack up the footy. He gets so much of the ball. This is the kind of guy that he's going to be a future accumulator. Okay, he is Sam Mitchell-like. All right, I know that a lot of people don't necessarily rate Sam Mitchell. They think that he just gets a lot of the ball but doesn't do much with it. Well, whatever. At the end of the day, he won a Brownlow and was one of the number 1 players in SuperCoach for a decent period of time. So if Jaeger Smith can find as much footy, anywhere near as much footy as him, he's doing well. I don't think he will, of course, obviously being a rookie player and really his first AFL season next year. But if he is playing round 1, which will be against Richmond, and we assume Carlton will have a softer draw due to their finish to the year, Jaeger Smith should, in theory, play. And if he does, we'll be playing, hopefully, a lot of midfield time. But it is, I know that Carlton aren't necessarily the best team, but it is a tough midfield to crack. Hewitt had an amazing season. Patrick Cripps is a decent player. And then obviously you've got Walsh and Chera in there too. So, look, I assume he'll be in that CBA action, but it's going to be a little while before we can definitely tell. Come team picker, though, these two should be absolute locks. And just keep an eye out on them over summer. Number 3. And this guy is someone that actually did play this year. Well, he just made it anyway. That is Josh Gibcus. Did burn a lot of people last year when they started him. Average season so far. I played 1 game for a score of 43. I know that doesn't scream pick me, but this was his 4th AFL season. Go back to 2022. So this is a former number 9 draft pick. He averaged 53.9 for the season and had an end price of 122. Started at 171. This guy's going to be even cheaper in 2026 as he only played 1 game. Very similar to Zach Reed. So he should be cheaper. He'll be playing defence, and at Richmond he'll get plenty of opportunity in defence anyway. I just want to go back to his scoring potential. Has scored 100 in the past and a 79. His highest price was a 327, so he can make money. I expect at least 150k made from him, and he should be at least fieldable as well. Didn't play at all in 23 due to hamstring issues. 2024 only played the 2 games in opening round and round 1, and then obviously that knee injury crippled him. 2025 he had the complications from that knee injury, and he just made it to the last game of the year where Richmond got absolutely demolished. If he gets a full pre-season, it will technically be his 5th AFL year. This is a guy that will be 22, turning 23, playing his 5th AFL year, and he'll be priced as if he's a first-year player. Kind of a lock. And he's playing in defence at Richmond. I could see him averaging 80 for the year. I know that doesn't sound like a great, incredible keep-me pick, but it is a great starting selection. Definitely. Josh Gibcus, absolute lock. Now, this is one that is going to be controversial. So the pick number 4 for rookies anyway is big old Max King. 300k this year, didn't play a game. Oh my dog, can you stop eating my chair? Is it good? Sorry, my dog's eating my chair. Stop it! You've got treats. Go back to your treats. Stop eating my chair. 300k. He'll be priced at about 190k, which is roughly where Tom Lynch was this year. He didn't play at all this season due to injury. Okay, this is his 8th year in the system. He'll be in his mid-20s. We know the kind of player that he is. In 2024, I did jump on him as a cash grab, and boy, did that fail. But this is the kind of guy that can have decent rounds. Look at this. 115, 110, 77. That's not bad. It's an average of 100 in the first opening 3 games of 2024. He does that at price at 190k, and you've done well. The only issue is he has those random games of 9 and 19 and 38 and 37 sprinkled in there, which does make him a hard sell. So here's an interesting one. He is very much going to be draw dependent, but the Saints are going to be aiming for a finals berth next year. They think that's the next step in their progression. They're not going to be expecting to be developing again. They are going to be pushing for finals. They'll likely have a softer draw. Hopefully no bye. Look, if St Kilda for some reason have a tough draw in the opening start of the year, and I don't know, let's just say that they also have the round 0 bye. I'm probably not picking Max King, but it's not a bad pick anyway, regardless. Sorry, I just needed a sip of coffee there. I do think that he is going to be a moneymaker. 150k should be possible. He'll be their number 1 forward. He'll have a spike game somewhere in there. My only concern is that his good games are really good, and his bad games are really bad. But again, as a rookie, you could probably take the risk. Was previously in my never again pile, but at a rookie price, it's going to be too hard to say no. Just keep an eye at him over summer. The other one, same logic. The next one, number 5, same logic. Okay, late 20s, this guy, number 1 key forward. His side has not had a great year, but he's going to have a new coach, and they're also going to have a fresh crop of players. They've already had a bunch of delistings and retirements, getting rid of the dead wood. Okay, been injured all year, was expected to be their number one forward. Now is his time, and this is the only time. And that is Todd Marshall. I know, he'll be priced roughly around 190k. Didn't play at all this year due to injury. Okay, he's been in the AFL system for a long time. His down games are bad. So, but his good games are good. Look, started the season strongly in 24, okay? But then 45, 42, 35, 33. I mean, it once again, hard sell, right? Very much a hard sell. His bad games are bad, but his good games are good enough. It's tough. It is tough, but as Port's number one forward, if they get a softer draw, which we expect that they will due to their finish to the year, he could have a couple of... Like, if Port Adelaide and St Kilda are hypothetically playing Richmond, North Melbourne and Melbourne and West Coast in their opening 6-7 games, guys like Max King and Todd Marshall should be seriously considered because of the potential spike scores that they could be getting, okay? So I'd be very much strongly considering both of them. This is very much draw dependent, but they are the number one forwards at their club and they're going to be rookie priced. So I don't know if I would start both. I might start both, to be honest. But it's very unlikely that I won't start at least one of those two, and it might come down to who has the better draw. And who's not playing in opening round. Both might not be playing opening round. Now, this is one that he's currently rookie priced. I'm not sure what he's going to be next year just yet. But hypothetically, if he maintains his price, Mateus Philippou has an average score of 34.6. So he's not going to be expensive. Okay? Currently scored at 162. Midfield forward. This guy was on everyone's radar over summer, was priced at 313k, and that is because of his finish to the 2024 season. Got a lot of CBA action and did very well. His end of year, so this will be his 4th year as well, which is usually the breakout year, I've noticed that I aim for anyway. But his end of season last year, he had a few injuries towards the end of the year, but if you look at his last 4 games playing midfield, he went 112, 101, 85, and 80. I know there's 4 missed games out of there. Okay, so I know that is an issue, but when it comes to his scoring potential playing in that role, it is there. Ross Lyon, I don't know what he's going to be doing in that midfield. We saw both Jack Steele and Jack McRae be the starting subs in the last month of the year. I don't know what that midfield rotation is going to be. Wangani Malera's looked amazing in that midfield, also at half-back. I'm not sure, but if Mateus Philippou is getting CBAs over summer, it looks like he's playing midfield over summer, this guy should be a lock in our sides. If he's playing forward, I probably wouldn't consider him anymore. I don't think he's going to be 162k. I think that he'll be pushing that 190k mark. There's a world where I could see Mateus Philippou and Max King being in my team picker side come at least December. So keep an eye out on what his price is going to be and what his role is going to be over summer. But not a lock. It's very much role dependent. Very much role dependent. He'll be entering his 4th year. As I said, that's usually the breakout year. Okay, I was actually tossing up whether to put him in my rookie segment or my breakout segment. I think that he could qualify for both. Okay? But so far right now, I just think that as a rookie, he must be on our radar over summer. Definitely should be on our radar. The next one is Sid Draper. Now, Sid Draper is an interesting one because he was a player. Oh my God, he finished the year at 99k. He started the season 90k more. Okay, was the sub basically all the time. Like, look at that. 27, 20, 49, 56, 41, 7, 5, 12, 16, 0. Just didn't get a run at it. Just did not get a run at it. Now, this is before finals as well. We know Rankin's injured, okay? If he's playing finals, amazing. Okay, so we might actually see him get a run at it. That'd be fantastic if we do. And if we do and he kills it, he's just going to be in about 100% of teams next year. With midfield forward status and 99k, his average is so bad at 23. He is going to be rookie priced once again, even cheaper than last year. Adelaide should have a tough draw, but with another summer under his belt, surely a kid of this talent is going to have a good year. If you remember Curtin last season, Curtin had the same problem. Couldn't really make it in Adelaide's best 22. Was really skinny, was raw. And then he went into summer, put on a lot of muscle, a lot of weight, and he's had a ripping year. If Sid Draper can go under the same weight gain program as a Curtin, we could be seeing a very different Draper. One to definitely be keeping an eye out over summer. Just one to keep an eye out, especially as a forward. Okay, if he's got DPP, this is the kind of player that a lot of people were confident would make us 150k when he started the season at 190k. Okay, he's not going to be that. He's going to be most likely even cheaper. It's going to be insane. What's strange is he was only in 22.6% of teams to kick off the year, which I found strange. It wasn't in my team. Dodged that bullet, but still, kind of guy that can make some serious cash if given the right opportunity. So keep an eye out on him. Now, this is the last one. Is kind of an interesting one, and I think a lot of people will be traumatized from his brother, who played a whopping 3 games, and the third game was in round 24. That is Ben Camporelli. Who knows what Michael Voss is going to do, even if he's at Carlton. But again, who knows what he's going to do. My concern with Ben Camporelli is that if Jaeger Smith is playing come round 1, I doubt Ben Camporelli is as well. But apparently, according to Carlton fans and from what I've seen in the VFL, this is the better Camporelli brother. He's 113k, had a lot of injuries in the early stages of the season, didn't have a proper preseason either, had a good VFL presence. Surely he makes his debut in next year. Definitely one to keep an eye out on. He's 113k, didn't make his debut, will be cheap. Just one to keep an eye out over summer, okay? I know that Lucas Camporelli didn't work out. We don't know what Carlton's going to do. And if Jaeger Smith is playing, it does mean less midfield opportunities. So beware of Ben Camporelli. Obviously, only pick him if he's playing, and probably if Jaeger Smith isn't. But just one to keep an eye out, okay? So they're the rookies. They're my watch list for rookies. Now, the next is discounted primos. This guy could have made my rookie selection too, by the way. Way too much. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Way too much chocolate powder on top of I made a cappuccino and it's basically a mocha at this stage. That is Kitty Coleman. Again, in most of our pre-seasons, watch list last year and the year before, at 269k, played 1 game and averaged 72 from that 1 game. Dane Zorko has re-signed for another year. We also have Fletcher, that's just had a massive season. Absolutely massive season. But we know what this guy can do. We saw that 2023 final series. He was incredible. And a 72 score, by the way, was off the back of 60% of game time, I think, that day, or 69%. It was under 70% of game time. He looked really good. Obviously, re-injured himself and then didn't play again this year. I don't know if he's playing over the finals period, but again, at the time of recording, didn't play another game this season. Should definitely be on all our radars. Okay? He is a discounted primo. He has previously been, if you look, he's previously been around the late 400k mark. Can score big, can score well. I think that he's the kind of guy in the right role will do well. If you go back to that game, Zorko was actually pushed out of that half-back line when Coleman was playing in it. Okay? I know it's a 1-game sample size, but it's just the kind of player that he can be. honestly, next year, if Coleman is playing round 1, he's probably in my team. He should be cheaper than that as well, as he's only played 1 game. At the moment, come team picker, is in my team. The other one is Nick Newman. Now, he is definitely going to be at a discounted price. He wasn't in a lot of people's sides. Look, he's played a lot of football. He's entering now. Next year would be his 12th AFL season. Has previously gone 101, and if you go back to his 23 season, went 100. So he's averaged over 100 in his last 2 seasons. We know that what the kind of player that he can be. Carlton missed him from the half-back line. Sam Doherty just wasn't the answer. He wasn't the answer. They really needed something from that half-back line. His end of year was nuts as well. Look at that 90, 84, 144, 107, 103, 132. That's a really good finish to the year. He's the kind of player in the right role can be good and should be cheaper than that too. He'd be in the early 500s. If he's in the 400s, he's a lock in my team picker. If he's in the late 400s. If he's priced at about 500 to 520, which I assume, again, this is very much an assumption that he's going to be priced at due to missing all year from a knee injury, he's basically a lock in my team for at least the team picker period. And if he's playing that half-back line, round 1 he's got Richmond. Okay, so how bad could it be? Definitely one that's on my watch list. The other one is Errol Goulden. Now, this is number 3. Finished the year not great. Priced at 496k. Okay? Didn't have an amazing season. Okay? Came in, his first game was round 15. Did not have a preseason. But look at this. 95, 146, 122, 92, 96, 93, 115, 73, 108, 107. His worst game was a 73 against Brisbane at the Gabba. Okay? But every other game outside of that, he's actually done all right. He's averaged almost 104. He's averaged 104 for the season in a year that his first game was round 15 and didn't really have a preseason. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. And the thing is, he's going to be priced really, really cheap for the kind of... This is the guy that can score 146 in a game. Look at that. Look at that ceiling. Okay? His previous seasons... I'm just going to show you his previous seasons. 2024, he averaged 108 for the year. 23 was his breakout year, and he averaged 111 for the season. This guy is so SuperCoach relevant, it's not funny. Okay? He's so important to Sydney's midfield, and Sydney, after not making finals, most likely will have a lighter draw, and when they have a lighter draw, it means that someone like this can really tear apart the early stages of the year. And if he's got a full preseason under his belt, I could see him having a really good start to the year. Probably in my starting side come team picker release, to be honest. The next one is another Draper, and that is Sam Draper. I hate this, by the way. I absolutely hate this, but if he's still got a ruck forward status, okay, I don't mind this being your F1, and I'll explain why. I don't know where he's going to be. The speculation that he could be traded at season's end, okay? We know that he's in his late 20s. He averaged 91.6 this season. Didn't have the best year. Started the year playing a lot of forward, but then finished the season playing ruck, where he scored 110 and 105, okay, before the injury ruined his season. He's the kind of guy, he's going to be priced at 91k, so he's still going to be relatively in the 400s. He's going to be kind of expensive, but not too bad for a forward price player. But hypothetically, if he's playing at Essendon and he's their number 1 ruck choice, or if he's at another club and he's playing their number 1 ruck as their number 1 ruck choice, he might push his average to 100. He could. Even if he doesn't, he averages over 90. He's probably around a top 6 to 8 forward anyway by season's end, and he provides ruck cover. The only time I'm going to consider Sam Draper is if he's a number 1 ruckman and he's got forward status in SuperCoach, okay? These are big ifs, okay? If he's below 500k or below 450k, okay? If he's 450k and below, he's got forward status and he's a number one ruckman, then you pick Sam Draper. If two of those three boxes aren't ticked, don't pick him. But again, want to keep an eye out over summer. Just see his role, where he is, all of that. Just keep an eye out on him. The last one for the discounted primos is Will Day. Okay? 474k. He's dropped a little bit in value. This is the kind of guy that we thought was going to explode this year. Okay? And he just didn't. He started well with a 148. That's his potential. But then the 77, the 76 were quite poor, as he is susceptible to a tag. The 103 was a little bit, a bit of resurgence there. Started the year off in 41.2% of teams. Okay? Had a horrid season of injuries. Look, which has pretty much been his whole career. A few people traded into him leading into round 21 as well, which sucks. Before he got injured for the rest of the year. He's the kind of guy that can have that big impact score, but also he is susceptible to an injury. I don't know what his price is going to be. If he's in the mid to late 400s, which I assume his price will be, then I'll consider Will Day. I will consider him, but I personally probably won't go there myself, personally. I'm more inclined on it's sad. I'm more inclined on Sam Draper up forward than I am in Will Day as a midfielder at the same price, which is fucked to think about, but it just is the case. But definitely one to at least keep an eye out over summer. Now, to finish up, the two breakout contenders. Now, the first one is a player that has pretty much been in our season in our SuperCoach sides for the last 3 years. And that is strange, but I'm going to explain why I think 2026, he could be even better than what we've seen. As I say every year, especially entering preseason, I kind of target the 4-year mark, the 4-5-year mark, okay? This is the season that usually the breakouts happen, that you go from impressive to kind of a star player, or at least the makings of a star player. And this is someone that is probably already his side's best player, but we're going to go there anyway. That is Harry Sheezel. Okay, he's not going to be cheap. He's not going to be cheap. He's got midfield defense status, probably going to be a midfield only in season 2026. I know what. Why are we talking about Harry Sheezel? Okay, this is a guy that finished the year averaging, 107.3. Last year he averaged 118. The year before that he averaged 99.5 in his rookie year. But he is entering his 4th season. We know the ceiling. But he's not playing halfback anymore. He's just not. He's playing midfield. Okay? Luckily, wasn't rotated forward as much as the season progressed, and he started to make the midfield his own. He actually started to look good. For some reason, I have a lot of free time on a Sunday, and I watched a lot of North Melbourne games, and he looked impressive at times in that midfield role. I just want to point out his last 7 games as well, and this is something else that I target. When I think about starting players next year, I like to look at how they finished the previous season. So, for example, one of the major reasons I started Andrew Brayshaw was because of his finish to his 2024 year. The same logic applied to Wangani Malera, and who I didn't start because just don't get me started on that one. But anyway, I had him all preseason and just didn't make the final team. That's fine. But Harry Sheezel, I just want to look at his last 7 games, okay? 123 against Melbourne, 106 against Sydney, 99 against Geelong, 131 against St Kilda, 112 against the Giants, 185 against Richmond, and a 98 against Adelaide, okay? Richmond's an easy midfield to score against. Melbourne can be at times too, I suppose, this season. But Sydney actually have a decent midfield. Geelong have a decent midfield. St Kilda's midfield is probably their strength. The Giants are a lockdown midfield, and Adelaide aren't easy beats. That 98 was kind of disappointing. He was on fire at half time, and then he just kind of tapered off right at the end. Their season was over, and Adelaide were very much well in front. But again, it's just that finish to the year, and it Even the 94 against the Dogs is pretty impressive against their midfield. It's just good. Apart from that 60 that he scored against Hawthorn, everything after his bye was really good. Like 137, 115, 103. Get rid of that 160. Okay, everyone has those bad games. 94, 123, 106, 99, 131, 112, 185, 98. Like, it's just fantastic. Apart from that 60, his lowest scores are 94, and against the Dogs midfield as well, by the way. I just see a year where maybe Harry Sheezel goes one step better as a midfielder, and it could be scary. It could be really good. And North Melbourne, it's getting to the point where Alistair Clarkson needs to have some success. And Harry Sheezel is going to be a big part of that. So keep an eye out on him over summer. If he's tearing summer apart, I would be very, very tempted to start Harry Sheezel as a breakout contender, as a player that could go even bigger. And maybe he averages 110 as a midfielder. And that would be pretty good. Got to look at his price. You got to look at his draw as well. We have to factor in those things, of course, but we don't know what those are yet. So just keep that in wraps. The last one is a weird one. Alright, the last one is definitely a fucking weird one. And just look at him. Just watch him. Okay, he's been in our SuperCoach teams in the past. And that is Darcy Wilmot. Okay. Why am I looking at Darcy Wilmot? I just want to show you his end of year, which is nuts. 99, 91, 90, 120, 123, 119. He had a 5-round average of 108.6 to finish off the year. That is crazy. Crazy. It's just such a weird player. I probably won't pick him, especially if Kitty Coleman's playing, but holy crap, that is a good finish to the year. Definitely one to watch for your draft. But, like, these aren't easy beats. The Gold Coast, Collingwood, and Fremantle and Hawthorn, they're all playing finals. And Sydney, I mean, they actually came good towards the end of the year, and he went nuts against them. I just can't believe his last 5 games of the season. Just keep an eye out on him and see his role. Hypothetically, if he's got the role that we think Kitty Coleman's going to have, maybe he's the player to start as the season progresses. Anyway, that's me done. They're the players that I'm looking at for 2026, very early, of course. Make sure to subscribe, like the page, follow us on all our socials, and it's going to be an in-depth summer, and I'm going to be doing a lot of pre-season notes. This is just a glimpse of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back in a little while with my SuperCoach Finals video. Thank you.